clap. Let's go again. Another clap. You know I keep these in just to fuck with you. Welcome, everybody.
This is the Renegade Shopping Cart Program.
Hey.
Shout out to us.
Yeah.
Cheers to Waterloo.
Waterloo.
Cheers to...
Another episode, my friend. Another wonderful episode. Oh, wait. This isn't supposed to be up.
Another one. Oh, let's redo it.
No, it's fine.
You think so?
Yeah.
Now they know.
They know. It's okay.
All right. Motherfucker. Hey. Oh, that's still the wrong button.
Yeah.
This is the
always hit the
Renegade
wrong
Shopping Cart Program.
Hey. Okay. Well, welcome to the program, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome to another beautiful day.
That's right. The broadcast, the program, the podcast.
Whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
You never know.
You never
We got new things.
Never know. We got some new things. We got some new mics.
We got some new mics. These are new arm stands. So if you see us fucking around with them, it's because we're stupid and we just jumped right into it without
That's right.
trialing it. You know?
I tried
Why
to...
are your feet so far out?
Well, because you made me scoot
I don't
in
wanna
so I
play
could be in
footsie
the
with you.
shot.
I got, like,
I think it's cute. So whatever you want to do.
well, they can't see it, so there's no point.
That's right.
I only have to be nice to you on camera.
True.
Because
Yep.
you're ugly.
Okay.
Good joke. All right.
Okay.
Today's episode is brought to you by
I forget what we're doing Moonshine.
Moonshine.
Moonshine for sure.
Wonderful
This episode is brought
people.
to you by Moonshine
and then Motion. I'm
and Motion.
asking as if it's not right in front of me.
Oh, you're reading them? Moonshine and Motion. They kind
Anyway.
of they're spelt the same actually.
Kind of.
A little bit.
Some would say that's
We're
why we
missing
picked
two
them.
letters.
Oh wait, we didn't pick them. They picked us.
They always pick us. I
Gift
can't believe
from above.
we have
What can't you believe? We have
this is episode 5, technically 5.
Yeah.
And we have sponsors. We've had sponsors since day 1.
I know. It's like they knew about us before we even started,
That's crazy.
right?
And like good companies, good startup companies
Dude.
that are doing cool things.
Lots of college kids.
A lot of, but like smart college
Oh
kids.
man.
They're
I
not
wouldn't
the-
put I mean,
They're not the dummies.
depends on what system you're in.
That's true. But I mean, yeah. So quick mention of our sponsors for today is Moonshine. Shout out to you guys, Moonshine. Find out about them a little later in the episode. But you can find them at moonshinestartup.com.
I think it's .org.
Moonshinestartup.org.
You ever notice how every like reputable place has either a .org or like a .net or something? It's never .com.
I don't know about that. Like, I think my
than, like,
grandfather has a .net. No, I don't know how reputable he is.
What does he use his net for?
I mean, I don't know. Catching some fish in the ocean.
Oh, okay. Good joke.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I mean, he uses something. I don't know. But
So what's new with you, buddy?
what's new with me? I shaved my mustache.
Finally.
I know. It was
Took enough time.
a long time coming. I tried to grow it out for as long as I could.
It was a long time coming and not enough people coming,
That's
if you know what I mean.
Hey, okay. Children are watching. No one's watching.
Only child is my brother.
Okay, well, shout out to your brother. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
You don't know his name,
I met him once, I think. I met one of them.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Well, no.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
One.
Well.
Anyway, go ahead.
So I shaved my mustache. I was growing it out. I was trying to do a thing. And I guess I could only grow so much of a mustache. That's what I learned. After 3 weeks, I feel like it just kind of stopped growing.
Really?
Yeah,
Just
really.
stagnated?
Yeah, it pretty much just failed. And your dog is taking that thing down behind you, and it's going to be so cute to watch in the video when I'm editing. Good girl.
Everybody, this is Lila.
Lila the dog.
Stop.
But yeah, so what the heck?
As you can tell, we record in my apartment because
Thunder
there's a
and
lot
lightning.
of shit that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, we live in well, not we, you. You live in a weird place.
Bro, I live in a fine place.
You really do. It's okay.
It's the cheapest apartment I could find that allows animals.
Yeah. Well,
And
Okay.
you.
and me. You have to pay a fee just to have me here.
No kidding, right?
I'm not kidding. But yeah, so I shaved my mustache. It stopped growing after 3 weeks. Like, I got pretty steady growth, but then it stopped.
Dang, dude.
And it stopped quick.
Your testosterone's not on point.
I don't know if it's my testosterone or whatever. Maybe Quizzosterone. I'm not sure.
Quiznos.
They went
I
out
miss
of business.
Quiznos.
They went out of business.
They were good.
Yeah.
No.
I've never had them, actually.
Really?
Them or the what's
Then
the
you're
other
part
one?
of the problem.
What's the other one? There's
Subway,
Quiznos. No.
Submarina,
Yeah, I haven't had that. That's here. That's like a San Diego thing.
is it?
I think so. I've
Mm.
only seen it in San Diego.
I've only ever been in San Diego.
You never left?
No.
I thought you said you lived 3 years in New Mexico or something.
No, not New Mexico and Arizona.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
What part of Arizona?
I lived in Yuma, the hottest, most dead, ugly place in Arizona.
Really?
Shout out to all my homies in Yuma.
Do you have any still?
Nope.
Okay. Well, that happens. What did you do in Yuma?
Literally, I was a child. I was like tiny.
Oh, okay.
It was like when I was first born till I was like 5 or something.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Damn.
There's nothing there. Have you ever driven through there?
I've driven,
Like on your way to Vegas or something?
I don't know where Yuma is, but I've driven through Arizona.
It's basically right at the state line between here and there. Like you can either go, like you go down to El Centro, and if you keep going, as opposed to like most people will go up from El Centro.
North.
Yeah, sure. If you keep going east from El Centro, you hit Yuma, and you think you're in like oil rigging country and freaking, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know if I've been that south in Arizona then. Because leaving from LA, you would drive through Barstow, and then I think you just go straight shot into Nevada.
Yeah.
But I spent time in Flagstaff.
Flagstaff's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I went to
Flagstaff's
Flagstaff.
really nice.
Yeah.
You go to the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It was pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, huh?
I have pictures of me and my girlfriend from there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she almost pushed me in.
Whoa.
Yeah. I love her so much.
I took some peyote at the Grand Canyon.
What is that?
It's like a psychedelic drug.
See, I thought it was like organic whole food.
Yeah. You buy it at Sprouts. You actually can buy peyote at your local Home Depot.
What?
The San Pedro cactus.
It's a cactus?
It comes from a cactus. Yeah, peyote comes from a cactus.
And they let you buy it?
Yep, it sells. It's one of the most popular cacti. Like if you drive around and you see all these cacti everywhere,
That's
it's
crazy.
Like, it's one of the most popular. And then, yep, you have to dry it out, and then you have to dethorn it. Got to dethorn it, and then you have to cut the skin off, and then put that in the oven. Got to dry that out real good. Dehydrate it, unless you have like a grow area that you could do it in, but I didn't have that. I'm not saying I did all that process. I'm just saying that's how you do it. And then it turns into a powder, and then that powder contains what I would call peyote.
I have a really inappropriate comment that I want to make that I'm not going to.
Well, I know how to bleep out, so.
You know how to bleep out?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I thought you were describing how my family was killed in the Holocaust.
Oh, in the oven? That's not even worth it. Why'd you say that? That just hurts the mood. It's not even productive.
Just cut that part out.
Okay, so we're
That'll
just
be
going to
between us.
restart from here.
They'll never know.
They'll never know.
They'll never know.
So,
Anyway.
I was at the Grand Canyon,
Okay.
and I took this, some would call it a psychedelic. I didn't take enough to actually trip,
Yeah.
but it was described to me as if you take a certain amount, you're a happy boy and you don't know why. So you don't really feel a come up. Like you don't feel like
Drake?
yeah, like Drake. But if you've ever
Shout out to Maria, who doesn't even know who that is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, if you've ever done a psychedelic, there's kind of what you call a come up and a come down. Okay, so you kind of feel it kicking on. That would be the come up. You feel all the changes,
Okay.
and every psychedelic is a little bit different.
Okay.
And then the come down is kind of like a hangover, let's call it, from being drunk, right? It's just kind of like it wears off, and then you're at this strange spot in the universe where you're like, I don't know what's what right now, blah,
the
blah,
whole
blah.
universe.
Yeah, you just feel weird.
Huh.
So that's the come down of drugs or of
Interesting.
psychedelics. Now, this peyote, it was just this powder. And I didn't, if you're a chemist, you could refine it down real low and you could get like just the peyote out of the cactus. And then that you could take a little amount and like trip, right? But
Okay.
since I didn't do that, I just knew that the chemical structure of peyote, I think it's called mescaline, was in the powder. So I had to take a lot of the powder to get a little bit of feeling, right? It's like the poor man's way to do it. But I did it, and I mixed a bunch of powder in a a green tea from Starbucks. You know, just I was sipping through a straw, and I was a happy boy, and I didn't know why. And like,
So it rang true.
it rang true,
You
yeah.
become a happy boy. You don't know why.
Yeah, and like you don't feel it come up or come down, so it just seemed I was like myself the whole time. Like I wasn't tripping, I wasn't doing anything. I was just really enjoying my experience, and I learned how to draw. Well, I didn't learn how, but I did a drawing. Let's call it something.
Oh, Crystal sent it to me.
Yeah, it was not good,
It was not good.
bro. Maybe
I'll bring up Exhibit A.
I might
She actually sent it to me, and I put it on. No, I didn't actually.
I might clip it in.
That'd be really
notes.
freaking funny.
Dude, the drawing is awful. It's like the shittiest drawing in the world. It was really bad.
But speaking of you and art, shout out to Crystal
Mm-hmm.
for hooking us up with our
Who's
logo.
that?
I don't know.
Crystal is my
Crystal Meth.
girlfriend.
Oh,
Hey,
that one
don't
too.
say that.
I'm sorry, bro. You're talking about tripping, and then we said
That's like the most overused joke that people do.
Crystal Meth.
Crystal Meth? You're dating Crystal
Yeah.
Meth? Motherfucker. I think that's the button you were looking for.
No,
Okay.
my go-to is always Samuel L. Jackson.
It's always Sammy, huh?
Yeah, and your go-to is the one you're about to press right now, because you are a.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Oh, you
I'm not going to hit him with
Find
it.
out
Not gonna hit him with
later.
It might come up later. Maybe we
Alright.
should do an episode without it.
But will it also come down?
Not if you do it my way.
Anywho, that's cool. That's weird.
Yep.
I don't. It's not really cool. I mean,
It was cool. I
did
mean,
drugs. That's cool.
I don't know if you'd classify it as drugs because it's like nature. Like, where
Well-
do you stand on that? Like, what do you class? Like, I'm not talking DEA scheduling, classified like class 1, class A, or whatever.
Yeah,
they
I mean,
class-
synthetic drugs obviously no go.
Yeah.
I am of the mindset I've seen too many people fucked up.
But on what though?
Well, like fuck up their lives. That I don't believe in going past like weed. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm that guy in the friend group where I'm like, you really did that?
Yeah.
Like I'm the snob.
Yeah, I sensed your judgment when I was saying my story just now.
Hey,
It is
no
what
judgment.
it is.
You're an idiot.
It's
I know.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's all right.
But I think anything past weed's a little bit too much. Like, cause I don't smoke. I barely drink.
Yeah.
I just feel like acid and shrooms and stuff like that are just a bit too much.
They're a bit too much.
You know?
But I'll be honest, the ratio at which people ruin their lives over drugs,
Yeah.
the psychedelics don't really do it to them. It's the meth, it's the heroin, it's the
Yeah, but it's also
cocaine.
people getting into gateway things, and we can have a whole conversation about it.
Well, let's have it.
Let's have it.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like they're gateway drugs, right? Like, so you try things a little bit at a time, and you go one of two ways, right?
Yeah.
You either are like me, where you try things, you don't like it, you understand that it's a fucked up situation, and you just stop, right?
Yeah.
Or you do it and are like, oh, this feeling feels good. I want to continue having this feeling. So you keep doing that one drug until eventually your body builds up the immunity to it. And you say, oh, shit, I don't feel it anymore. I need to figure out how to get that feeling back. And you go on to the next thing. Happens again, go on to the next thing until you fucking choke on your own vomit and die.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's skipping a lot of steps.
Well, I said, and so on and so forth, you know?
Yeah.
It's the idea behind it.
I agree. I mean, I think of, I think marijuana is a gateway drug.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely.
I've seen
even
it.
alcohol. Alcohol is the worst of them all, in my opinion. Alcohol fucking destroys you.
It does.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah, anything unregulated will destroy you. But yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's weird that we legalize alcohol, but the fight to legalize marijuana is raging
wild.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it like Colorado that's like legalizing all drugs?
Oregon, I don't know about Colorado. Oregon decriminalized all. I think Colorado as well. It's not legalized.
It's not, but
I think New York legalized marijuana today.
Oh, that's cool.
I
in my opinion, I feel like marijuana should be legalized. Like there is a way to use it while not get it. See, in my opinion, marijuana is less of that gateway drug. It depends on your personality, because you can either have like, self-admittedly, I have a very addictive personality, right? So if I were to say have enjoyed marijuana, I would have just gone on and forward, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not one of those things that regulate, like in and of itself will destroy you, you know? That's where it's like kind of a gateway, kind of not, because it, like I said, it depends on your personality.
I might push back on that. I mean, I feel like in terms of other drugs, I've seen marijuana ruin more people than any other.
Than other drugs?
Yeah.
And that's a fair point. And that just is the life experience that you and I differ on, you know? Like,
yeah. And it's different, right? Like you could say their personality was such that they were always that type of like recluse and, you know, however they ended up after the marijuana, but it definitely didn't help.
It really comes down, in my opinion, to like their coping mechanisms, like how they can deal with things or how they can deal with stress. And then once you get hooked on these drugs, you then also lose a percentage of your natural coping mechanisms or the way you deal with things, because that starts influencing how you cope with things. It starts becoming the way you cope with things, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I definitely believe in gateway drugs. I mean, I think marijuana was a gateway drug for me as a kid.
Yeah.
Like I started smoking real early.
Interesting.
I had older friends.
That explains a lot.
So when they got into it, I got into it. And yeah, I mean, it just, one thing leads to another. You think you can handle, I think it's you kind of demystify it. Like all your life, you're raised to think, okay, marijuana is a scary thing. Drugs are a scary thing.
Yeah.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like we've seen it everywhere from when you're a baby to when you first try it.
It's like anti-drug week at school and shit like that.
And then you tried weed and then you're like, oh, this isn't bad. This is good. Right.
Yeah.
And then you start doubting that whole perception. Like maybe drugs aren't just bad.
Yeah.
And then, so I definitely think it's a gateway drug under that premise. But I think if you have a good understanding of what drugs do, what's good about them, what's bad about them, it kind of creates that awareness.
Was it a social thing to you?
For me, yeah.
Like people influencing you to do it, and then did you find yourself doing it when you were around other people, or did it also happen when you were by yourself?
I never got too big into marijuana, so I never really smoked alone. Like maybe a couple times as I got older. Like I think like right after I graduated high school, I got into what they call spliffs. It's like you kind of roll a joint with half tobacco, half weed. I like that because I still enjoy smoking the occasional cigarette.
Yeah, well, it gives you the head high for the initial reaction, and then kicks you straight into the weed high.
Yeah, so it's purely a social thing for me, but then a lot of those people ended up just smoking alone the whole time.
Well, because I have friends that do both, you know. So.
I'm not a huge person. I never got into it, though. I only did it because it was fun to do with like a group of friends. You're out skateboarding, you're out just hanging out.
Yeah, it's kind of like drinking.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I view drinking.
Yeah, but let me see where I was going with that.
You lost your head, bro.
I lost my head.
I'm the fattest and most retarded.
There we go. It is the hoe. But yeah, it's a gateway drug for sure. I think
you're right. I can agree with you.
Yeah. But I have a pretty open opinion on drugs. I think they should all be legalized.
I have a pretty closed mind space about drugs and people using drugs. Yeah. But the reality of the matter is I'm thinking economically and people are going to do it regardless, so why not make money off of it?
Yeah.
It's kind of cynical. People are dying because of it, but, you know.
Yeah,
the government makes money off of fucking war, so why can't we make money off of drugs?
Yeah, well, they make money off of drugs.
They make money off everything. You know? So,
yeah.
Fuck the government.
Hey, I didn't say it. Just saying that to the FBI out there. I didn't say a single word.
I said it.
Yeah. But so your drug experience has been limited to marijuana and alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I would never go past it.
You'll never go past it.
I have a very strong headspace about that. And that is something that
what about
like, even through peer pressure, I've been able to maintain.
I get that and I respect that.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
My biggest vice is nicotine. So
vaping away on that life, baby.
Yeah, man.
It happens.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And like, excuse me. At first you don't like it's one of those, it's the same thing you were just talking about where it's like, you're told not to do it forever. And then when you try it, you're like, this is fucking, you're like, this is cool. You know, I remember the first time my best friend got me. So I always yell at my best friend for this.
Uh-huh.
He's the reason I smoke.
He got you hooked.
He got me hooked.
Oh my god.
Obviously, it's my fault because I didn't say no.
Are we gonna name drop him? Name drop him. I'll blurt it out.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Oh, it was him?
Yeah, bro.
Stevie boy.
So we were hanging out one time, freshman year of high school. Sorry, Mom, I'm dropping all this right now. Freshman year of high school.
Wait, does she
Right?
know?
Does she know I smoke?
She knows the vape, right?
Does my mom know I smoke?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I was just high school.
Okay.
Freshman year of high school, we're hanging out. This is when we first started hanging out when I first got into music. And there was elementary school right behind where our buddy lived. So there was like a group of us. We went over there because school was out at that time. And we were just hanging out on the playground or whatever. And to this point, we had been hanging out for a while.
Yeah.
And he had been telling me, like, yo,
Cigarettes
you
are
should
the
try
shit.
these. They're not bad. And the whole time, I was telling him, you're a fucking sack of shit.
Yeah.
It's going to destroy my voice because
Yeah.
I was a vocalist. Well, I eventually broke down. I lit it. I hit it a couple times. I hit the ground, dude. It domed me. Do you remember the first time?
Your first cigarette.
The first time.
Oh, of course.
I hit the ground, dude. I was sitting there like,
Dang.
I looked up at him. I was like, this is amazing. Can I have another one? He was like, you're gone.
You weren't sick though?
No.
Like, I think
Didn't
I
get
got
sick.
sick on my first one.
Really?
Yeah.
I got sick my first time drinking, and I got sick my first time smoking weed. That's for sure. But no, nicotine didn't hit me that hard, or tobacco didn't, you know.
Yeah.
But it's wild.
It is wild. And
That
you've been vaping. How long did you smoke?
Cigarettes?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I stopped smoking cigarettes. That's a good question. Probably around when Angela and I started dating, because she made me stop. I stopped.
3, 4? Oh no, you guys have been
No,
together for a
that's
long time.
6 years ago. 5 years ago. 6 years ago.
And you've been vaping ever since, or did you cut cold and then you started the vape?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't cut cold. I transitioned into vaping, and I stopped smoking cigarettes.
Mhm.
And then I've had like 3 or 4 breaks from vaping, but I've always just fallen back.
Falling back on the habit.
It's bad, dude.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, I'm a vacation smoker.
Yeah.
I
Look
love
at that cigar, dude.
I'm getting into it. I've had like 4 in my life.
Them Cubans.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Cigars are weird.
Cigarettes or cigars?
Cigars.
Yeah, cigars are cool. I mean, here's what I liked about weed, right? And why I stopped smoking weed. We got time. Yeah, so when I would smoke weed, I was young. I'm
Okay.
talking young, bro. Like
When
6th,
he
7th
was
grade.
a young warthog.
Sure. Yeah, all of it. So like 6th or 7th grade, back then, when you would purchase the marijuana, you'd have to call like some dude who you knew,
Yeah.
and he would deliver it somehow, or
Yeah.
you'd go pick it up.
Yeah, you
And it was in a sketchy bag. It was like a thing you don't know if you're getting ripped off. You and your friends scrounged together like $20 to buy a fucking nug.
yeah.
You know, like it was good.
bad.
And the quality was poor. So
Oh, yeah.
you'd smoke all that you bought and be a little high.
Yeah.
I loved that. And I would still smoke weed to this day if it wasn't so strong. It's so strong now. Like
It's ridiculous.
I tried smoking weed. I think the last time was 2018, 2017.
Okay.
And we're in 2021 right now. And dude, I took one hit and I was gone.
Yeah.
I was tripping. Like it was so bad that I went into a pool. I took a bong hit, right? And not even that big because I was mindful that it was strong. So I
Yeah.
was like already limiting myself. I went into a pool and I felt like I was on mushrooms. Like I was sitting in the water and my heart started pounding. And I swear to you, it was pounding so hard that I saw the ripples in the water. I was like, holy shit, what is happening to me? Dude, I'm not even joking. I was terrified.
You were in the ocean all of a sudden. The waves were just.
It was my heart would beat and it would, and I just saw all of it, and I was like, I need to get out. And so I went out and I just like laid down. I closed my eyes, and I was just like chilling for like an hour, like that. I was so
floating on a cloud.
I was so scared, and I haven't tried it since. I don't think I will.
This episode of Renegade Shopping Cart is brought to you by Confetti Coffin. Confetti Coffin, where dying doesn't have to be sad. Do you or someone you know plan on dying soon? If so, don't choose a traditional, dreary, and depressing casket to be buried in. Choose a confetti coffin. Confetti Coffin designs fun, colorful, and unique coffins so you can be buried the way you want. Why not bring the party with you when you arrive in heaven above or hell below? Confetti Coffin offers themes depending on what your favorite holidays are. Are you a fan of the 4th of July? Well, if you are, Confetti Coffin will make sure you get buried with live fireworks that are hooked up to a timer that is set to go off every year on the 4th of July. Fan of Christmas? Well, maybe every year Santa will come down your coffin chimney and deliver some special presents. These designs are not just limited to holidays, they can be any theme or style you want. You can even design your own personal confetti coffin with the folks at Confetti Coffin to ensure that you will be buried in a casket that you want. Confetti Coffin offers a risk-free trial period. Spend a few nights in your coffin, and if you're not sure it's exactly what you want, they'll give you a full refund, no questions asked. Confetti Coffin also offers a rolling promotion that allows your family to get a full refund after you're already buried if you can come back as a ghost and somehow explain that you are unsatisfied with this product. Use promo code LIFE to see more exclusive deals. Once again, that's promo code LIFE to see all of Confetti Coffin's exclusive deals and get yourself a lovely casket. Be the life of your non-living party with Confetti Coffin. So, discussing a little bit of drug background.
Drugs are bad.
Or the little bit of drugs we did. There is one friend of ours that we know who talks about drugs a lot. Do you know who that is? I'm not going to let you answer because you know what this leads us into today? The motherfucking quote of the day.
Quote of the day.
Quote of the day.
Motherfucker.
Hey.
Alrighty. So today's quote of the day is, the hardest thing to do is to be true to yourself, especially when everybody is watching.
That sounds stupid.
Damn, bro.
I'm just going to say, I don't even know who that is, and that sounds stupid.
And
let me tell you why that sounds stupid.
All right. Here we go.
That sounds like it was said or written with the purpose of being somebody's quote of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thanks, because I wrote that for today's quote of the day.
You did a great job.
Asshole. No, that was said by none other than Mr. Dave Chappelle.
Oh, I retract my statement.
Yeah.
That man's
and he said
an
it
icon.
in the middle of one of his specials. So you look foolish.
Which special?
I want to say it was either Equanimity or The Bird Revelation, one of those two.
Dave Chappelle is a god. He is a national treasure.
He is the GOAT.
That we should value.
He is
for
the
all
GOAT.
he is.
So I wanted to bring this up because they just announced that the Chappelle Show is going up on Netflix.
Well, it's not Chappelle's show anymore.
It is
Chappelle's show.
Well, I don't think it is. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. He changed the name because now he owns all of the rights to everything.
Comedy Central gave it back to him.
Well, yeah. Because, okay.
He got the license for it again.
Are you going to go into the controversy just for the people that didn't know?
Yeah. So how long ago was it that he put out that little special?
It was
less than a year ago.
Oh, well, put out what special?
He put out remember he put out that special on like Instagram or something? It was only available on Instagram and then it moved to like YouTube.
Yeah, that was like 2 months ago. So what happened
really quick.
was he put Chappelle Show came back.
Oh, you're going to go.
Let's go back. Tell the whole story.
Well, because he talks about it on the special.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So Chappelle Show was famously the most
hilarious sketch comedy show.
Sketch comedy show, but also most profitable for Comedy Central back then. I think there was only 2 seasons of it. He quit. He gave up, I think it was a $70 million deal, which back in like 2004 was
ridiculous.
Yeah, it would be like 150 now.
Like twice as much as pro athletes made.
Yeah, so he turned that down. He said, fuck it. He couldn't do all the corporate bullshit that they were pretty much asking him to do. He explains it way better. I'm not going to state his reasonings, but what happened was it was off air for so long. Like they weren't streaming it on any platforms. It wasn't on YouTube unless you found like a poor audio of it. You couldn't buy it off Amazon or anything like that. You couldn't even go to Blockbuster and buy it. Rest in peace. And and then all of a sudden, every platform started putting it on. Right? I think Netflix put it up. Comedy Central started streaming it on their YouTube channel. And at first, I was so excited because I was like, oh, it's finally back. This is my childhood.
So this was after he made his comeback because he went away for years.
Yeah, he made his comeback
He went away
couple
for
years
like
ago.
almost a decade.
Yeah, I think.
And then came back and did a couple Netflix specials and like blew everything up.
Yeah, well, he's been doing stand up for I think since like 2015ish.
Yeah, something like that.
But I mean, he's so famous and elusive. He would just fly into a town and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna perform here tonight,"
and it would pack.
Kind of like the shows him
Same
and
day.
Joe Rogan are doing now.
Yeah,
like they literally post them like 2 days before. They're like, "Hey, this weekend we're gonna be here."
Yeah,
and then
it
they
sells out immediately.
Yeah, in a minute. So he's like an icon. But what happened was they started publishing the Chappelle Show all over again, and everyone was excited. Everyone was I follow like nothing but like
Comedians.
my Instagram feed is like comedy and surfing and like UFC fighting.
Yeah.
You know, like I have a boring one, but so everyone was posting like, oh shit, Chappelle's back. Like Chappelle's show's finally back. This is awesome, blah, blah, blah. And he made his comeback. So it seemed natural.
Yeah.
Right? He was already in the public sphere again. He was back here making jokes. It seemed natural that the next step would be to get Chappelle Show back on.
Yeah.
But I guess they did it without even asking
it was
him
without his
for
consent.
the approval. And
they weren't paying him for it.
What nobody knew was that he didn't even own the rights. He didn't own the name Chappelle Show, even though it's his last name. He wasn't making a dime off of it. So he came out on Instagram, published something. It was like a 20-minute thing, and he posted saying how, you know, he's not making anything. This is not right. This is modern day slavery. They own my name. They own my likeness. They own everything.
It was ridiculous.
The way he is as an orator, like he's
the
such
way he
a
tells
good
stories
speaker.
is fucking ridiculous.
It's otherworldly.
You watch him, and when he said it, like it doesn't even seem like he's setting up jokes. It seems like he's literally having a conversation with you.
At this
and you
point,
can't help but to sit there and just listen.
I think he's really funny. A lot of his current stand-up, like all his specials on Netflix that have come out in the past handful of years, I'm rarely like ha-ha-haing. Like I'm not really laughing out loud.
But they feel.
But I'm so focused on it, and it's like it's magic.
Yeah, it's
like
you
what
can't,
he's doing is magic.
Well, and it's like you don't even notice. It's
Yeah.
one of those things where you like watch the whole thing and then you're like, oh my god, that was 2 hours.
Are you a rewatcher? Do
Yeah.
you like to rewatch things?
Oh yeah.
I like to like when The Irishman came out. I watched the movie before I watched it with other people.
Yeah.
Because I had so many expectations and hopes, and I wanted to kind of get a feel of it, and then I wanted to enjoy it with other people.
Yeah.
I do the same with very few comedy specials, but Dave Chappelle's, I'll watch before I watch with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'll watch them before I even tell her that they came out.
Yeah, like you want to get your own opinion on it.
Yeah,
and
because rewatching something like Dave Chappelle's specials and The Irishman, like great films and great productions, is better than the first experience with
yeah.
them.
Well, you notice more. Like you
Oh,
realize
yeah.
you like subtly realize, especially with like him,
Yeah.
you realize how actually funny and genius
Yeah.
his.
But with him, it's so genuine.
Yeah.
Like a couple people, they do great at it, but like they're making it up. It's not as genuine as his.
Well, and it's like I would argue like for most comedians in the game right now, you can tell that they pre-write bits and like think hard about the jokes and
Yeah.
like have to set everything up. With him, it literally feels like he just walks out on stage and tells a story.
Well, he does.
Yeah.
There's 2 comedians right now that are like headline main stage comedians, like primetime ones, that can just do that. They could just wing it for however long.
Yeah.
And they could just always ace it. It's Dave Chappelle and this comedian Andrew Schultz. They could do everything. They just walk out on stage and do, crowd work or spit off the top of their head, and it's just gold.
Yeah.
So,
Like it,
yeah.
it feels like they can't do wrong.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. Like he did the whole special that you were just talking about on Instagram, and the entire thing was he was telling a story about when he was getting into his career, like when he was a young adult. And I won't go into detail about what the actual story is. You should watch it because it's incredible. But basically, the premise of the story is don't get in between a man and his money, right?
Oh yeah.
And then he goes off on Comedy Central because that's what he did. He was basically saying, you're taking the food off of my dinner table. Like, you guys are destroying my life right now. So that's why you went away. And the fact that he came back got the biggest comeback of all time and is regarded as the greatest of all time. And now, like, Netflix was going to put his stuff up, was going to put Chappelle's show up, I think, and then he contacted them directly because he had done a couple specials through them. He had contacted them directly and told them, yo, this is not cool. Like, I am not getting paid for this. And they were like, yeah, okay, say no more. And so now he gets the rights back and immediately turns back to Netflix and says, you know what? You were a homie. Here you go.
And he didn't even get the rights back. I don't think he ever had them. Like he
sorry.
got the rights for the first time.
Like when he signed his contract.
We're talking almost 20 years later.
Yeah.
Like.
And he never had ownership over it. And it was his fucking name.
Yeah. And this says right here, I asked you to stop watching the show, and thank God Almighty for you did. You made that show worthless because without your eyes, it's nothing.
He is someone that truly understands that the fans are what makes it.
Yeah, and with the power of social media nowadays that he didn't have, 15 years ago, he could ask an audience, which his audience is his entire fan base now on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right? So he could post a 20-minute thing on Instagram and say this very eloquent monologue of how this makes him feel, and he compares it with, stories from his past and all this stuff, and then of course we listen.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking good.
That's the amazing thing is everyone he reaches listens.
Yeah.
He's able to get that attention.
He figured out that without the rights, without the contractual agreements that obligate someone to make a profit off of something, he has something more powerful.
Yeah.
He has the interest in the public.
Yeah. Like,
it's more powerful than any organization.
And I honestly feel this is what the actual, like, movie, cinema, TV industry needed. Someone to literally stand up and be like, no, fuck you.
Honesty.
I am going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they needed the fans to actually listen.
Because I've been a fan of Dave Chappelle since I was a young kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm talking pre-Chappelle show. I remember seeing his specials, like his quick, like 30-minute specials on whatever was on.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember watching, like, the Rick James skit when I was in, like, elementary school.
I'm Rick James, bitch!
Hold on, drink, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, Chappelle show is legendary. And, you know he's rich. You know he's famous. So even as a huge fan of him, you thought he was at least making money off of it.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't have thought twice.
No.
And
then you see, I mean, who the fuck is Comedy Central nowadays? They have no hold on the market. Who watches Comedy Central nowadays? Like, no offense if you do. I'm just saying they don't have, I think Workaholics was like their last hit show that they could have produced.
Something. I can't think of anything other than like stand up that I've ever watched on Comedy Central.
So, I mean, they had no leverage in the game at this point.
But that's the thing is, like, even now, like, one of the bigger comedians that I watched growing up was Gabriel Iglesias.
Fluffy.
Dude, gotta love Fluffy. And, like, he got his big break on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
But he's doing nothing but freaking Netflix now. Everyone's doing Netflix.
But that's because Netflix is good to the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've been around a lot longer than you think.
I believe it.
I think Joe Rogan did a Netflix special in 2004 or 6.
Yeah.
Before they were like a big
when they were just like a website. Yeah.
Remember when you had to order? Did you ever order DVDs from them?
From Netflix?
Yeah.
No.
They had a subscription base that if the movie you're looking for wasn't on the streaming platform, you could just fill it out online and they'll ship you the DVD for that movie in like a 48-hour window period.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's when I got into Netflix. Me and my dad would always order some random thing.
But anyway.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's incredible.
It's amazing.
And if you don't watch Dave Chappelle, Who are you?
You know what's even crazier about rewatching Chappelle's show, which we have to call it now.
Yeah.
Right, because he owns it. Chappelle's.
It's his show.
Yeah. But you see all these people who are super famous now
Yeah.
playing like small roles
Oh yeah.
in the show. Like you see like all these like young comedians or actors.
People
who are
that didn't have a
huge
name
now.
yet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're like in the Chappelle show.
It's
kinda
cool.
like watching Friends or something. You
Right.
see all these like crazy actors that are like prime time now.
Yeah.
Or like Seinfeld.
The ones that have.
Everyone started in Seinfeld. Like everyone.
I never watched Seinfeld.
It's funny, man. I just got back into it. I was showing Crystal Seinfeld. But I watched it. I mean, that was always on when I was a kid.
Did you ever watch, speaking of Jerry Seinfeld, did you ever watch his little short series on Netflix, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee?
Oh, yeah. That was a YouTube series. That was way before Netflix.
No, that was on, wait.
I think he
did
does,
he redid it?
He does current things for Netflix, but I think it's been on YouTube for like 6-7 years now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, I've been watching it. It's really good.
It's good.
I love it.
He did like Eddie Murphy, Stephen Colbert, Sarah
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 Palin.
Jessica Parker.
Oh,
He's done it with Chris Rock. He's done it.
he did it with the guy that played Kramer.
Yeah.
You know that controversy?
No.
Ooh, he was at the Hollywood Improv, I think, or the Laugh Factory in LA one time. That actor, I think it was like 12 years ago. You could pull it up. It makes for great content for sure.
What should I look up?
Just actor played Kramer saying N-word. So he was having a terrible set. These people, well, I don't know if he was having a terrible set, but I think the story goes, and I could be completely wrong, but these group of people kept talking through his set. And it was making him have a terrible set. Michael Richards. Yeah. And he fucking
he looks like an asshole.
And he started dropping N-bombs and all
He
this stuff.
seemed like a weird guy. Oh, what am I?
Well,
Michael
he's that good of
Kramer.
an actor.
Well, no, like even in like when he was on that show on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, he seemed really weird.
Yeah, well, that was after this. So Jerry Seinfeld had him on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Oh,
so people can kind of see who he is really. Like he's more than this mistake.
Oh, Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman's hilarious.
I don't think she's that funny.
What? You're wrong.
Goes on racial tirade. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. We're sorry if this is inappropriate content, but I've never seen this.
Yeah,
you
Laugh,
can just
Laugh
bleep it out.
Factory in Hollywood.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to bleep out what he said. We're not saying it. Michael Richards, a.k.a. Kramer, goes on racial tirade. What year is this? 2006. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Dude, I remember when this was like front page news.
Oh, they don't
I was
have
10 years
a
old.
video.
Richards reported, "Shut up. 50 years ago, we'd have you upside down with a fucking fork up your ass."
Whoa.
Oh, shit. I didn't know it was that deep. He
Whoa.
then paced across the stage, taunting the men for interrupting his show, peppering his speech with racial slurs and profanities. You can talk. You can.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
You can talk. You can talk. You're brave now, motherfucker. Throw his ass out. He's
you can't use
I'm not
that.
saying it.
You can't use that. Oh,
He's
that's
that.
bad.
Richards shouts before repeating the racial epithet over and over
Oh,
again.
No. What an asshole.
I will say this. I think he I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's accepted back now or accepted now in culture again
Well, it says he performed the next night.
without incident. But this was 2006, so this wasn't like you can't get a mainstream story on everyone's Twitter feed in an hour, right?
Yeah.
So like word traveled slowly about
yeah,
this.
exactly.
So, and then the video, it was kind of hard to find back then. I think that's the year YouTube came out, 2006.
Oh, really?
I think so.
That's
so
crazy.
it's like you have to take that into consideration. Like you heard about it and then you're like, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
And then you have to somehow find the video of it. And then you're like, oh shit, he's a bad man.
You're like, oh,
and
this
then
actually
you
happened.
have to wait and be like, well, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Do we watch Seinfeld? Like, it's like back then. You can't just have a fancy hashtag that says it all for you.
What do you think Jerry Seinfeld said to him?
Well, so they talked about it in the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee episode.
I don't remember that.
And I don't know if he's been on multiple times, but yeah. They talked about it.
What happened?
He kind of just wanted him to explain his side of the story, and I think in Michael Richards, in his defense, but on his behalf, he was saying, you know, I was crazy back then. I don't know if he was into drugs or whatever, but he was pretty much at that point of his life, like before this happened, he was having a mental breakdown.
Gotcha.
And like this was kind of a culmination of it. And like he says, like the people that know me know I'm not racist. Like I don't know what happened, blah, blah, blah. And I think he was out of the public sphere. I think he still is. I haven't seen him in anything.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him do stand up. I don't even know. Is he on Instagram or Twitter? I'm not even sure. But he was on Jerry Seinfeld's show. It was a good episode.
Yeah.
But to go back to it, yeah, I love Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. I love how quick it is. Like it's 15,
very to the
20
point.
minute episodes.
And they're literally just hanging out.
The cut scenes are nice, like the coffee pouring and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. And the awkwardness, that's what I like about it. The awkwardness shows through.
Yeah.
Because someone like Jerry Seinfeld is an awkward person. He's very like himself.
Yeah.
Right? So it shows in his show. Like they're not trying to dance around it. And I really appreciate that.
He was in a TV show between 2013 and 2014.
Michael Richards, what was it?
I don't know.
Let's plug it.
Crap. No, let's not plug it.
He was 57 at the time.
Where'd it go? Dang it.
2006.
Dang, he's old, huh? It's called Christy.
Never heard of it.
Neither have I.
Yeah, 57,
Probably
2006. What is that, 15 years?
Oh,
Damn.
God.
He's in his 70s now.
I got a 5 out of 10 on IMDb.
Well, maybe we should watch it.
Well,
Look, this story was brought to you by 19 Action News in Cleveland.
My God.
That's how fucking old it is.
Yeah, well, that's how far it went, because this happened in L.A., and that's fucking Cleveland, yeah. Imagine how long it took to get there.
Yeah, I mean, this was probably... I'm sure it says in the story, like, 4 days
sent
ago.
a Wells Fargo train.
Yeah. I'm going to send this to you by bird. Make sure you get it, okay?
It's crazy. Jesus Christ. Yeah, dude, I don't...
Can you come back from something like that?
I don't know, man.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Let's tie this back into
it's like the Kevin Hart thing. You remember Kevin Hart was supposed to host like the Oscars or something, and he made...
I think that's different.
You think it's different?
Pull up the Kevin Hart tweet. Let's talk about it.
All right. What should I type in?
Kevin Hart tweet that got him canceled. And that's the one.
Usain Bolt one. This is it. All right.
Let me preface this before we get into it. Let me preface this before we get to it, okay? Kevin Hart, one of the top comedians ever. I'm talking ever. He's sold more than almost anybody before him. If not, he is the first. I don't know. But this man sells out 40,000 seat arenas. He films his live specials there. Like, he is an icon in comedy's sake. He's a top-notch joke writer, him or his team. I don't know. I mean, at that level, he has whole production companies after him now, and
he has his own.
He has a podcast.
Company.
He has everything going for him. So I'm sure he has a team that helps him write the jokes. I'm sure it's not only him, but he is top level.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in the time he came up, let's just say 2005-ish. You know, I'm sure he started in the 90s, but he started getting more popular, you know, in the earlier 2000s. His comedic style is probably dated towards that time era.
Yeah.
When certain things were more okay to say.
Well, and to be 100% fair, I'm not condoning saying this whatsoever, right? But to be fair, times changed very quickly.
Oh, in 4 years.
Oh my God.
4-year
it was
period.
A completely different world.
2014 to 2018 was like crazy.
No, like even back then though.
No, I know. But I'm just saying.
Like
when was the tweet?
2011.
2011. Okay, back then, this was fucking hilarious. To me, I'm just going to say it. This is still funny to me. I didn't even see that tweet, and when I saw all the controversy and I read it in his style, and I saw how it might fit in his whole bit.
Yeah.
Right? Like in his whole act. I thought this was really funny.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of the problem, right? Is there's different kinds of people out there. I'm not saying anybody's better than anybody else, but like,
I'm definitely not in
You-
the good group.
oh no,
Yeah.
but like people like you and I will read something like this and think it's funny. People
Yeah.
like we read insulting things and think they're funny, or degrading things and think they're funny because we don't see it from a more or less aggressive point of view, if that makes sense. Like the people that take this stuff to heart are people that have seen the other side of the adversity and have dealt with things like this that are difficult, right? And so obviously if you're bringing up things like that, it's going to hurt, and someone's not going to think this is funny. It's not going to be cool, right? So it's kind of like a tightrope where
I think if you, no matter, I mean, look, I can't go through everything that everyone's been through, but for those people, you know, who maybe they got, let's read the tweet first, and then,
Okay.
and then we'll go more.
Okay.
So he said, yo, if my son comes home and tries to play with my daughter's dollhouse, I'm going to break it over his head and say in my voice, stop, that's gay. So when you're reading it in words, you have no context. The way Kevin Hart performs is very theatrical.
it's very flamboyant.
He moves a lot. He has a high-pitched voice. He's short. He keeps a straight face, but he's doing funny things with his body when he's saying a sad story. Like, he's all over the place. He's a great performer.
Yeah.
So what I think, a couple things. When you just read this, it, like when I said it out loud, I don't think I would have. I
Laugh.
didn't think it was funny.
Yeah.
But when I read it in my head, I
And
think
you
it's funny
think about
because I'm
Kevin Hart.
envisioning Kevin Hart. So where I think things go wrong is you break that barrier of context, right? Like if he just threw this in a bit and then posted a video of him saying the whole joke, right? Because I'm sure there's more to this.
Oh yeah.
He's acting it out. It ties into a joke before, and he's going to segue out of it and all that. If he posted that video, I wonder if there would have been more of an outcry.
I don't know.
But I also think maybe comedy is just not for everyone. Comedy in itself is it's an art form, and I'm not saying, like, there's different genres to everything, but comedy, how it got started and how it is used in the public sphere, is always to push limits on things. Like,
To break boundaries.
what makes it funny is that we all know he shouldn't be saying this type of shit,
But he fucking said it.
but he says it, and he's like, and for what you're envisioning, you think it's real, and you're just like, I can't believe this guy,
Yeah.
right? And like, that's not funny to everyone, but it's funny to a lot of people,
Yeah.
and they're not wrong for thinking that that's funny. Now, this happened, when did the controversy happen? I mean, 2019 or something?
Yeah, it was a
Couple
year
years
or two
ago.
ago.
This tweet's from 2011. Like, if you pulled up that tweet and asked Kevin Hart, do you stand by this? We're about to cancel you. He'd probably be like, listen, that was a joke I made back then, or a joke I had in my act. But no, I wouldn't say it today.
Well, he did. Did you hear any of the responses he gave? So he put out a Netflix series, and it was like a documentary style series about right after this happened.
I watched it.
It was phenomenal.
It was really good.
It was really good. And it involved how he responded to it.
Yeah.
What he was saying was, I apologize if I offended anyone. Obviously, from then till now, I have evolved. I have grown. I have learned. I understand more than I did back then. But it was a joke. I am a comedian. I made a joke. I'm not going to apologize for it, you know? I am going to understand what I need to change, understand what I need to do differently, and I'm going to do that. It was well spoken.
I forgot about that documentary. Yeah, it was a good documentary, I think, or a good little series that explains
So here,
how cancel culture can genuinely like ruin someone's life,
because
or attempt to, at least.
I don't know if I'm going to be correct in saying this, but he was supposed to be the first African American male to host the Oscars.
I think you're right.
I think that was why it was such a big deal. So here's a follow-up tweet. He said this was years and years later, because the first one happened in 2011. So this was after everyone found out in like 2019 when he was going to host the Oscars. So he says, I'm sorry that I hurt people. I'm evolving and want to continue to do so. My goal is to bring people together, not tear us apart. Much love and appreciation to the Academy. I hope we can meet again. That was after, because they'd never actually kicked him out. He
dropped out.
Yeah, he said, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, which is for the best. I think they offered it to him again after the controversy kind of got a little quiet. But I think when we go back and we dig something out about someone's life like that, it makes it seem like he's saying it now.
Yeah.
He said it in 2011.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, 8 or 9 years later.
ago.
So it's not like he's saying it today.
Yeah,
He didn't
and
think
that's-
of this today and write it and post it today.
Yeah, and that was a big part of what he was saying.
Yeah.
This is not how I feel nowadays. This
Right.
is what.
But then
joke
there's
was
people out there that would be like,
10
well,
years
if you've
ago.
ever felt like that, then you shouldn't be at the level you're at in the public sphere or in your career.
Yeah.
But then how do we evolve?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think,
It's a bad situation.
I think he's still on the top of the world.
Yeah.
Right. But then, he got caught up with that sex tape and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Kevin Hart.
Shout out to Kevin Hart.
He's actually going to be a guest on this podcast. Yep. So stay tuned for that.
Him and Dave
episode.
Chappelle. Same episode. Gonna be crazy.
Hopefully, yeah. We get him virtual.
So, buddy, we have a choice to make.
'Kay.
You want to do some more time, or you want to wrap it up for today? I would say, audience, let us know what you think, but you're not there.
Let's wrap it up. I feel like this is a good little compact episode. Talked about,
Yeah.
a couple good things, some drugs, some this and that.
Getting real to the heart.
Really, this episode
Not
we were
Kevin
just
Hart.
testing out our new mics. We just got them in today.
Yeah.
We're excited to do another
Let us know
episode.
how they sounded. Let us know how we sounded. If anything we said was stupid, let us know your opinions.
Or
Let's
don't. Just
open a conversation.
sometimes keep your opinions to yourself, and I
Or-
stand by that statement,
Yeah, well,
and I will forever.
you can't when you have a podcast where you're talking about your opinions.
Oh, right.
Nice try, though.
I'm not saying me keep them to myself. I'm just telling them to.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
big shout out to Motion. Thank you for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, subscribe, share, tweet,
You forgot about Waterloo.
Facebook.
You forgot about
Waterloo.
Moonshine. You forgot about.
We didn't talk about Moonshine.
We will.
Oh, stick around. See what you can get from
It's
Moonshine.
called that
Awesome guys.
post-production, baby.
That's what I'm saying, baby.
And don't forget what you have listened to.
This is the Renegade Shopping Cart Program.
Bye,
you.
everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Adios.